Good morning, friends. Today we will cover chapter 13 using writeObject and readObject methods. In the previous chapter 12, we learned about the transient fields. For example, whenever we mark a primitive field like double or boolean as transient and a reference object as transient, so it will not be a part of the serialization process. It will not be serialized. And similarly, in the test cases where we wrote the deserialization unit test case, we found that once we deserialize it, all those transient fields which were marked, which for say for primitive fields, it will uh, deserialize back as a default value. For double or int, it would be 0, or long it would be 0. For Boolean variable, it would be false. And for the reference object, which was marked as transient, it would be deserialized back as null. But suppose we don't want the null value or the default values for the transient fields. So what can we do that it's exactly as the same state as it was before serialization? So for that, Java has got a mechanism. It provides a set of private methods we can implement such that it will be invoked automatically during serialization and deserialization process. And these two special methods, we just need to define it in our Java Pojo class that we are trying to serialize or deserialize. And these methods should be exactly same. For example, for serialization, we have to use private void writeObject, and the method signature should be exactly same as this. So, and here we can write our custom code that if the field is marked as transient or whatever, or static, even for static, we can custom serialize it. We can put it some values or a state. And once we deserialize it, we can again write this exact same method, private void readObject, ObjectOutputStream, and here we can restore it so that it's not defaulted to null or 0, whatever. It would be exactly same as what we want. What's the way we want to deserialize it back. By implementing these two methods, we can customize or control the default Java serialization process. And of course, there are some other methods provided which actually has the same method that, like for example, ObjectOutputStream.default writeObject. It means that it will be using the default Java serialization process. That, for example, it will try to serialize everything except static and transient by calling this method inside this writeObject method. And similarly, we also have this default readObject method to invoke the default Java serialization process inside writeObject and readObject methods, respectively. So enough of theory now. Let's go back to our IntelliJ and write some unit test case to understand it better.